DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, I hope you're all well. It's Monday. Yes, and you all know by now what I'm going to say, because on Monday I often do 2 tags. And today will be no exception. Yeah, I just had a situation which I'll have to do in a vlog later on, but stay tuned for the vlog. But right now, actually, I will be starting as usual with Jasmine's tag. Just birds all over here. With Jasmine's tag. Hi there, Jasmine. Hope you're well. What is going on here? There's all these pigeons that all of a sudden surrounded me. Yeah. Okay, so I hope you're well. That all these birds are not, some type of a sign of something. See over there, there's a crow and all the pigeons. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to do the tag. So, okay. So let's start with the question 1. Okay, what does Facebook mean to you? A lot less. There was a time I had a first account on Facebook. Well, actually, I have 2 accounts. I had started a first account where I had started looking up for old friends, and I mean by that schoolmates and this type of thing. Especially since I live abroad, looking up for old friends is something that means that you would be able to actually reconnect with people that you appreciated. Strangely enough, is that most of the people that somehow that I found or that found me were actually very often the people that I wouldn't have cared to connect with. But it was interesting how they had, so to say, mellowed with old age. Anyway, yeah. So what does Facebook mean to me? When I said less and less, it's become a place where people are very often showing very hateful words, and shocking to me because a lot of these people were people that I considered up to a point nice and, so to say, decent people, and sometimes the vile stuff that spews out of their words, out of their pens, kind of scares me at times. So yeah, less and less and less. At least that's, sadly, it's the so like I said, I had 2 accounts, so I'm using both of them less. And so one is mostly, I was going to say, ex-YouTube people, and the other one was mostly family and some selected friends. So yeah, less and less. But I still keep it for one reason, especially. Keep in touch nevertheless, and I think you need a Facebook account to have Facebook Messenger or something. And the family connects a lot on Facebook Messenger, the family in Canada. Okay, question 2. Have you lied for a friend? Yeah, it's happened a few times, and it never was a good thing. And frankly, it's not something that I would recommend doing. If you lie for a friend, it'll come back and bite you, and it usually always does. So yeah, I mean, we all do things that we're not always happy about, and that could be one of them. Yeah. Question 3. Did you have an imaginary friend as a kid? Not really. When I say not really, because we would play a lot of imaginary games when I was a kid with the family, and we would have people that were part of the imaginary game. So a whole slew of people, and we used to call them the Hermies. I don't even know where I get the name from, but anyway, so there was Little Hermie, Big Hermie, Uncle Hermie, and so on. So we had them in our imaginary game, but they were not imaginary friends, because we'd only bring them out when we played a game. but not like on my own, but the typical imaginary friend that nobody sees or something like that. No. Question 4. Do you think that you are sexy? No. I don't know. So some people really rave about that, that they think that they have a sexy body or something, or that they have traits that people will go wild about, things like that. No, I don't think I'm particularly ugly, put it that way, but I definitely don't think that I am sexy. When I was in university, it used to be very interesting because you could tell like who, especially in university, college and university, you could tell who the people thought were sexy because you would just see, we're talking about men right now because I'm a man, but because you would see how the people would act. Well, actually men and girls, it doesn't matter. Men and women, don't get on my back. Men and women, because they would, the ones who were sexy or perceived as sexy were pursued, and I was not pursued. So no. Question 5. Do you have any phobias? Not really. Not really. I mean, I don't have a phobia, but for example, I don't particularly like lizards or animals like of that type. And I would definitely not want to have lizards or spiders as pets. Frankly, the only animals, even birds, the only animals that I don't mind touching really are dogs and cats. I've almost been bitten by a horse once, and I like horses, but they can be pretty mean actually. So yeah, but lizards, reptiles are not my thing. Definitely not. But it's not a phobia. It's not a phobia. So do I have any other particular phobias? No, I don't. So yeah, is that it? Well, I sped through that one, didn't I? Well, I guess it, doesn't always have to be 10 minutes, does it? So, thank you very much, Jasmine, and hope that everything's going well for you. Take care. Bye-bye.